today we are going to continue, of course, our subtraction skills. We're going to work on them today as well as keep going into next week. But we need more practice working with those two-digit subtraction. So let's check out and remind ourselves of our learning target from yesterday as we're going to continue working on the same skills to get nice and strong. So, our learning target is, my friends, I can solve subtraction problems with my tools and the vertical way. So remember, yesterday we started taking our tools, showing our subtraction with tools, and moving it into writing, using the vertical way to show our skills in writing. Some of us had a little difficulty showing everything we did on our tools in the vertical way, but that's okay because today is another day we get to practice to make sure we really understand how we show all our work and our unbundling with the vertical way. So you're going to need the same tools we had yesterday. You're going to need your double 10 frame and your 10s and 1s to work on this, as well as a whiteboard. I have mine up here, but you need your own little whiteboard or something to work with because we're going back and forth between our tools and showing it on the vertical way, tools, vertical way. So you want both to make sure you can really do that connection to take your skills from your hands to your writing. So get all your awesome materials out, Super Scholars, so we can solve new two-digit subtraction problems. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you have all your tools out, you have a whiteboard next to you, and you are ready to solve with me this problem. 83 minus 35. So my friends, we're starting with 83. We're going to take away 35, take away a part, and end up with another part. What's left over? So we need to set up our tools and our vertical way to make sure we're ready to do both. So my friends, what are we going to show on our frames with our place value tools? What number are we going to show? I just said we're starting with 83, our whole number. So you know the drill. Can we show 83 on our tools? You got it. Can we show 83? I'm going to do it with you. So remember, if you need more time, always pause. But my friends, how many 10s do we have? 8. And how many 1s do we have? 3, of course. So we have 83, what we're starting with. But we need to show that on our vertical way. We started with our tools, set up our problem. Now we need to show it on the vertical way. So my friends, where are we going to write 83? If we have 10s and 1s, where are we going to write 83? Can you write it on your board? 83. We showed separately those 8 10s and 3 1s. Good job. Are we done setting up our problem vertically? No, we need to include what we're taking away. We want to show the whole problem, what we're going to do, in the vertical way. So my friends, we have 35. Which number in 35 is in the ones place? Which number in 35 is in the ones place? The 5, of course. So I need you to write the 5 in the 1 our 3 ones? Okay, in 35, what number's in the tens place? The 3, of course. So we need to make sure there's a 3 in the tens place that we show is a part of 35. Don't get confused, my friends. There's 3 ones and 3 tens, but we can see they're part of totally different numbers. Okay, we've got ones and tens, so we're ready to start subtracting. What are we going to do first? We're going to start subtracting in the ones, of course. We always need to start subtracting with the ones, the smallest unit. Let's see. How many ones do we have? 3. How many do we need to take away? 5. So, what are we going to do? What's happening here? We can't do that, so we have to what's the vocabulary word I've been saying? Unbundle. We've done bundling. Now we're doing the opposite. We're going to unbundle. We're going to unbundle a larger unit, which is the tens, of course. Good job. So we take a 10, and when we unbundle it, what happens? Tell me exactly what we get. When we unbundle a 10, we're going to make 10 ones. You want to be specific what you're saying. We're making 10 ones. So go ahead, can you do that? Can you make 10 ones? Okay, super scholars. So what did we just do? We unbundled a 10 to make 10 ones. But we need to show everything we just did on the vertical way. This was the part that a lot of us forgot to do on our assignment last night. We're really awesome with our tools, but you need to show what we just did on our vertical way. So, what was the first thing we did? We unbundled a 10. So we need to show that we no longer have 8 tens. How many tens do we have? We had to unbundle one, so how many tens are left? There's just 7 tens left. We need to show on the vertical way the change that happened to the tens. We took a 10 to unbundle, so we need to show that we only have 7 tens left. And then, my friends, after we unbundled, we got 10 ones. So that means, how many ones do we have now? We need to show this new amount of ones on the vertical way. We started with 3, but we added 10 ones. So how much are we going to have? 3 plus 10 is 13 ones. We want to show that when we took a 10 and made 10 ones, this is what we ended up with. We need to show that step, that we have 7 tens and 13 ones after we unbundle. We need to show the change we made on our tools in the vertical way. We're just writing down the exact amounts we have now. So, we've worked on our tools, we've shown it vertically, so now we can fully subtract. My friends, with the ones, we have 13. Can we subtract 5? We sure can. So let's go ahead and do that. Can you subtract 5 ones? Can you subtract 5 ones? Let's look. How many ones do you have? 5 and 3. You have 8 ones exactly. We see there's 2 missing, so we right away know there's 8 ones. But now, my friends, we're looking at the tens, and are we going to subtract tens? Do we have a number of tens to take away? Yes, we do. There's 3 tens from our 35. We need to subtract. Today, we are also working to subtract the tens. So can we go ahead and do that? We have 7. Can we take away 3 tens? 1, 2, 3 tens. So my friends, how many tens are left? 4 tens in total. So now we can see our final answer, which is 48. 4 tens and 8 ones. Good job, awesome people. So the big focus of today is showing what happened when you unbundled a 10. We do a really awesome job showing it with our tools, but we want to take that knowledge and write it down with our numbers. We need to show that we took a 10 and made it into 10 ones. So we did change the place value of our numbers in order to subtract. This is our big focus today, showing our unbundling with numbers. Okay, so now that we've practiced, we know what we're really looking for. Let's go ahead and try problem number 2. Let's go and reset. But for our last video lesson break, I need every single one of you to stand up on your feet for our last video break in our lessons. So come on, stand up with me, and I have a question, an activity, this or that. Would you rather be able to surf, so surf in the ocean? If so, you're going to do high knees. Or would you rather learn how to snowboard in the mountains? If so, you're going to do high kicks. What would you rather do? Surfing or snowboarding? I would love to know how to surf, so I'm going to do high knees for 5 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Shake out all your body. Get your wiggles out. And let's get going on our next problem. Okay, let's go, Super Scholars. We are going to solve, as awesome mathematicians, 62 minus 47. So, what number are we going to start with? What's our big whole number? 62. In subtraction, this first number is really important. It's the bigger number, our whole, 62. So what are we going to do? Show 62. With your place value tools, can you show me 62? Let's see. Awesome. What do you got? How many tens? 6. How many ones? 2. Thank you very much. Okay. What about the vertical way? Can you write on your board? Where is 62 going to be? Write it right down on your board. 62. Six tens, 2 ones. Make sure it's right on top to show it's the whole number, what we're starting with. So now, what are we subtracting? 47. Where is 47 going to go on the vertical way? Can you write it down to see for yourself? 47. Line up the tens and the ones. What will it look like? In 47, there's 4 tens and 7 ones. We have all our ones and all our tens lined up, and we're ready to go. So, Super Scholars, what are we going to start subtracting first? Ones or the tens? The ones, of course. We're starting in the smallest unit. So what do you see? How are we going to have 2 and subtract 7? How are we going to do that, Super Scholars? You tell me. We're going to did you use the vocabulary word? Unbundle a 10. Go ahead and do that. Can you say that with me? We're going to unbundle a 10 to make 10 ones. One more time. Can you do that with me? We're going to unbundle a 10 to make 10 ones. Awesome. Let's do just that. Can you show me your awesome knowledge? We're going to make 10 ones. Whoops. Okay, so you should have taken a 10 and turned it into 10 ones instead. We just did the most important step in subtraction, so now we have to show our work on the vertical way with our numbers. So how are we going to do that? What was the first thing we did? We had to, let me hear it, unbundle a 10. So we need to show that in our tens place. We had 6 tens, but when we took a 10 to unbundle, how many tens were we left with? 5. We were left with 5 tens. And we know that these, here we go. So we need to show we no longer have 6 tens, we now have 5 tens. And my friends, this 10 didn't go away, it became 10 ones. So we need to show the change that happened. We took and made 10 ones. So now in the ones place, how many do we have? 2, 10 more becomes how many ones? 12. So we need to show we no longer have 2, And instead, we have 12 ones. The 110 we took became 10 extra ones, and we need to show that difference right on our vertical way. You can see how we had 6 tens and 2 ones, but now we have 5 tens and 12 ones. They mean the same thing, but we were just unbundling. So you need to show that vertically. Make sure, my friends, your vertical way matches mine. Okay, we unbundled. Can we continue subtracting now? Yes, we can. So we have 12 ones as we showed the vertical way. How many are we going to subtract? 7. Let's go ahead and do that. Can you subtract 7 ones? So friends, how many ones do we have left? It's half a 10. Quickly, that's just 5 ones left. Exactly. And are we done solving this problem? Just the ones? No, we can see there is steps needed in the tens place. How many tens do we have right now? 5. And it's telling us to subtract how many? 4. So what's that going to be? We'll have how many tens? 110 left. So on your vertical way, you need to show that when we had 5 ones and we just took away 4, we were only left with 1 1. And that means our final answer is 15. 15 is the answer to our problem. So second grade, we were really working through this problem by showing what we know with our tools and then writing it in the vertical way, unbundling with our tools, then unbundling with the vertical way, subtracting on our tools, and then showing what we answered on the vertical way. It's a back and forth. It guides you through every step. Really trust yourself because you all did an awesome job with your tools. We're really focusing on showing how we unbundle, what that changed on our tools in the tens and ones, and how we can write that vertically. That's our big focus for today. Okay, with this big focus, you are going to now show me what you know and solve 2 problems on your own, doing just like we did. Tools, and then showing those steps on the vertical way. So let's take a look. Okay, so your dojo worksheet looks just like yesterday, except you are now solving 2-digit problems, meaning you have to subtract the ones and the tens. But either way, you have to unbundle in every single problem. And when you're solving 41 minus 26 and 94 minus 47, you're doing each step of subtracting first with your tools, and then you're showing what you did each step vertically. You're setting up your tools, you're setting up the vertical way. You're unbundling, changing tens and ones, then you're going to show you unbundling on the vertical way. Then you'll subtract the tens and ones with your tools, and then you will show your answers for subtracting on the vertical way. Tools, then vertical way for each step of subtracting. You want to cross out the tens and ones you had before and show what you have now after you unbundled. Really pay attention to that top part. How can I show what I unbundled and what it made? So second grade, I'm trusting you again to be working with your tools while you're doing the vertical way. That means together at the same time. I'm trusting that you're working your brain both ways. Okay? This finishes our last video lesson, so let's go tackle this worksheet. And next math, I'm going to see all of you in the classroom.